Hi guys, my name is Zheng. I'm from class 10C at Anzeng Upper Secondary School. Books not only enrich our knowledge, it also enrich the beauty of our soul. So today, I'm really excited to be here to introduce you to my favorite book. The book I'm talking about named Don Quixote by Miguel de Cervantes. Don Quixote is a Spanish novel by Miguel de Cervantes, originally published in two parts in 1605 and 1615, with 25 chapters in Part 1 and 74 chapters in Part 2. Its full title is The Generous Gentleman, Don Quixote of La Mancha, a founding work of Western literature. It is often labeled as the first modern novel and one of the greatest ever written. Don Quixote is also one of the most translated books in the world. Don Quixote is a middle-aged gentleman from the region of La Mancha in central Spain, obsessed with the chivalrous idea touted in books he has read. He decided to take up his lance as sword to defend the helpless and destroy the wicked. After a first failed adventure, he sets out a second one with a somewhat befuddled playboy named Sancho Panza, whom he has persuaded to accompany him as his faithful wife. In return for Sancho's services, Don Quixote promises to make Sancho the wealthy governor of an isle. On his horse, Rocinante, a bad nag well pressed in his front, Don Quixote rides the roads of Spain in search of glory and grand adventure. He gives up food, shelter, and comfort, all in the name of a peasant woman, Dulcinea del Toboso, whom he envisioned as a princess. On his second expedition, Don Quixote becomes more of a bandit than a savior, stealing from and hurting powerful and justifiably angry citizens while acting out against what he perceived as threats to knighthood or to the world. Don Quixote abandons a boy, leaving him in the hands of an evil farmer simply because the farmer swore an oath that he will not harm the boy. He steals a barber's basin that he believes to be the mythic Mambrino's helmet, and he becomes convinced of the healing powers of Bamson of Phoebus, an elixir that makes him so ill that, by comparison, he later feels healed. Sancho stands by Don Quixote, often bearing the brunt of the punishment that arises from Don Quixote's behavior. The story of Don Quixote. This includes the stories of those who meet on his journey. Don Quixote witnesses the funeral of a student who dies as a result of his love for a disdainful lady turned shepherdess. He frees the wicked and devious galley slave, James de Parsimony, and unwittingly reunites two bereaved couples, Cardenio and Lucinda, and Ferdinand and Dorothea. Torn apart by Ferdinand's treachery, the four lovers finally come together at an inn where Don Quixote sleeps, dreaming that he is battling a giant. Along the way, the simple Sancho plays the straight man to Don Quixote, trying his best to correct his master's outlandish fantasies. Two of Don Quixote's friends, the priest and the barber, come to drag him home, believing that he is under the force of an enchantment. He accompanies them, thus ending his second expedition and the first part of the novel. The second part of the novel begins with a personage invective against the funny sequel of Don Quixote that was published in the interim between Cervantes' two parts. Everywhere Don Quixote goes, his reputation, gleaned by others from the book real and the false version of the story, precedes him. As the two embark on the On that journey, Sancho lies to Don Quixote, telling him that an evil enchanter transferred Dulcinea into a peasant girl, and doing this enchantment, in which even Sancho comes to believe, becomes Don Quixote's chief goal. Don Quixote meets the Duke and the Duchess, who conspire to play tricks on him. They make a servant dress up as Merlin, for example, and tell Don Quixote that Dulcinea's enchantment, which is known to be a hoax, can be undone only if Sancho whips himself 3,300 times on his naked backside. Under the watch of the Duke and Duchess, Don Quixote and Sancho undertake several adventures. They set out on a flying golden horse, hoping to slay a giant who had turned a princess and her lover into meadow figurines and beat the princess' female servants. During his stay with Duke, Sancho becomes the governor and fictitious isle. He rules for 10 days until he is wounded. An onslaught the Duke and Duchess sponsor for their entertainment. Sancho's reason that it's better to be a happy liberal than a miserable governor. A young man at the Duchess' home falls in love with Don Quixote, but he remains a staunch worshipper with Dulcinea. The never consummated affair amused the Count to no end. Finally, Don Quixote sets out again on his journey, but his demise comes quickly. Shortly after his arrival in Barcelona, the Knight of the White Moon, actually an old friend in disguise, vanquishes him. Cervantes relates the story of Don Quixote as a history, which he claims he has translated from a manuscript written by a Moor named Sidi Hameti Benengeli. Cervantes becomes party to his own fiction, even allowing Sancho and Don Quixote to modify their own histories and comment negatively upon the false history published in their names. In the end, the beaten and battered Don Quixote forswears on the chivalric truths he had followed too fervently and dies for a fever. With his death, knights errant become extinct. Benengeli returns in the end of the novel and tells us that in illustrating the demise of chivalry was his main purpose in writing the history of Don Quixote. Don Quixote has many good qualities, such as the desire to be a knight, destroy evil, protect the righteous, act bravely, selflessly for noble purpose. But what is to blame in him is ignorant, vile, unrealistic, reprehensive, or also pitiful. Sancho Panza was different from his owner. He lived a more realistic and practical life, but also revealed many reprehensible points, such as cowardice, self-image, and self-interest. The character of Don Quixote brought laughter to readers, but not the usual humorous laughter. Thereby, it shows that unrealistic and delusional lifestyle should not be, but also through the lifestyle. Cervantes condemned injustice, demanded injustice and freedom for people, at the same time mocking vanity, living according to the trend of mediocrity, but losing oneself.